Y'all, I have been a little bit absent from the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen the last few weeks. Life has been crazy, guys. Just so busy. But I really needed a nice hot bowl of soup. So today on the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen, that is what I'm bringing you. I'm going to make it in the Pampered Chef Deluxe multi-cooker, or you could also use your Instant Pot. I am making a delicious split pea and ham soup that I have used some leftover ham from a family gathering, which is one of the reasons I've been so busy. So I hope that you'll come along with us and see how I make one of my favorite fall time soups, split pea and ham soup.
Oh, it's a simple living in the hills of Tennessee. But Brooks and Christy say that's the life for me.
So we're starting out with a 1 pound package of the Goya green split peas. Any brand will work as long as they're split peas. And we're going to go ahead and put them into our strainer here and wash them off and pick out any bad ones or rocks that might be in there. As with many soups, we're going to start out with the Trinity or a mirepoix, which is celery, carrots, and onion. We've got about 3/4 cup of each is what we're going to wind up with. So I've got 3 small ribs of celery, a handful of baby carrots, and a small onion. And I'm just going to dice those up somewhat fine, but they don't have to be perfect. However you like them, actually, is how you should dice them. So if you don't mind larger chunks, you can certainly dice them up larger. But I do like to go ahead and dice my veggies a little bit more fine, especially in a soup like this, because that's how we like it. You might notice if you've watched several of our videos that I use the flexible cutting mats here to chop my veggies, and I love it because you can just simply chop up your things and then use the cutting mat itself, and it kind of folds and bends so that you can empty your cut veggies right into a serving bowl. So I've had this set, it comes with 3 for probably 15 years, and it is starting to look a little worn and used, but you can still use them and they are perfectly fine. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we are done cutting our veggies here, and I've got some leftover ham that I'm going to quickly slice up into bite-sized pieces. We had a gathering with the family while my sister was here, and I've got this leftover ham to use up, and I've also got a nice size ham bone to put in. You can use any kind of smoked meats that you like. You could certainly use sausage, smoked sausage, ham hocks, smoked turkey, whatever kind of meat you've got. And then here's a look at that nice big ham bone that I'm going to put in there. All right, I've got our Deluxe multi-cooker. I'm turning it on here and I'm setting it to the sear mode. It is going to be at a high sear, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And then we're adding 4 tablespoons of butter, which is about a half a stick of butter. And that's going to get all melty so that we can get our veggies sauteed. I'm using the brand new anniversary scraper that Pampered Chef just came out with. They actually gave me one of these at conference, and I love it. It's kind of vintage with the wooden handle and the design. Going in with our mirepoix or Trinity, which is the celery, onion, and carrot that I just chopped up. And we're going to saute that up until it is starting to get translucent. Is not going to have to be done. Adding in a half of a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, adding in a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, adding in a half a teaspoon of dried thyme, Just going to sprinkle that right on top there. And then a half a teaspoon of organic garlic powder. I get this from Azure. It is so potent and wonderful. It's almost like using fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that around and get that ready to go, because that's going to draw out the flavor and all of those aromatics in this soup. And it is going to be wonderful. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to use my pepper grinder here and add in probably a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, whatever you like. Salt and pepper is all up to you. The ham already has salt in it, and we're using a chicken broth as well, so we're not going to need to use a whole lot of additional salt here. So I've added in my peas and my chopped up ham, and I'm just going to quickly stir that around there. And then as that continues to cook through on the sear and saute method, I'm going to add in 8 cups of a low sodium chicken broth. I actually usually use a better than bouillon and make my broth, but this time I used 8 cups of water and 6 bouillon cubes, adding in that ham bone right on top, making so that it's almost submerged underneath the water. And then we're going to turn on our lid. And I'm setting it to the custom setting, and I'm going to change the time to 15 minutes and press start, and that's all there is to it. Let's head outside and have a chit chat. So while the soup is cooking, I thought I would come outside and just have some chit chat time with you all, because I feel like it's been forever since I've made a video or done anything with the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen channel. We've been busy over on Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun, but I just haven't had the time to do all I would love to do with the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen. But soup day is here, and I am just very glad to be back. So the world has been very busy for us, and recently it just seems like it has turned even heavier than it already is. There's so much going on out in the world that is saddening so many hearts and making us just wonder what in the world is happening here. Like, what is happening here? And this is not a political discussion at all. It's just me giving some thoughts. My heart grieves for the family of Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated in front of thousands of people just 2 days ago, and the little children that were murdered in a school shooting in Colorado. I don't have any of the right words to comfort anyone. I don't have answers as to why these things are happening. But I do know, and from my own walk and my own experience of losing a daughter and a mom and stepdad and very close friends, that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. And John 16:33 says, I have told you these things so that you may find peace in me. Take heart. In this world you will have trouble, but I have overcome the world. And Jesus will overcome the world, and he has all of the things aligned. And while we can't see why someone like Charlie Kirk, who was a husband, a father, a voice for America, a voice for our youth, a loving person, why he would be taken from us, we know that somehow that is God's plan. And we have to trust that his plan is going to be what's best, not just for all of us, but for the world. And that the influence that someone like Charlie Kirk had on this world will continue on through the voices of the people who have heard him and respect his viewpoint. So my prayers, and Brooks and I both are praying for the Kirk family. We are praying for the families in Colorado. We're praying for all the families who have lost children tragically and senselessly, and in ways that we just can't understand or can't fathom. And I am one of those moms. I didn't lose my child in a school shooting, but those of you who may not know, our 22-year-old daughter Amanda passed away due to accidental fentanyl poisoning in 2021. She was only 22 years old. So I understand that heartache of losing a child suddenly without warning to something so senseless and stupid. But my peace is in Jesus each and every day, even on the hardest of hard days. He's gotten me through, and he'll get you through too if you're going through something. But I'm going to chit chat about what in the world have we been up to these last few weeks. Well, it started with my sister and her husband Joe. I'll show some pictures along the way. They came to visit for almost a week around Labor Day, and we got to go to Dollywood, and we went to the Biblical Times dinner show, and we had a barbecue here at the house. One of the things my sister and I did while she was here is we all visited and spent some time in the arts and crafts community in Gatlinburg. It is a awesome little area that is mostly made up of local crafts people who make things and are artists. It's actually a really amazing place to visit. If you've never spent time in the arts and crafts community and you visit the Smokies, you absolutely are missing out. But one of our neighbors is actually one of the OG people who owns a shop there, and he is a potter, and his family is potters. It's Alewine Pottery, and I've always wanted a couple of his beautiful hand-thrown soup mugs, and so I finally broke down and bought 2 of them, and I'm gonna serve our soup up in them today. And actually his daughter Lynn is the one who created these, but they are gorgeous, and they have like mountain indentations, carvings on them, and they are gorgeous. So I am excited to eat some soup out of the Alewine Pottery soup bowls. You know, I didn't film anything that week. We just spent time together because I don't get to see my sister hardly at all. She's in Florida and I'm here. Getting away is a little bit difficult for me, and so they usually come up to the Smokies every Labor Day. So we all just had a really good time. We just knocked around and played tourist, so to speak, here in our own hometown area in the Smokies, and it was a lot of great fun. But you know, when you're playing tourist and you're on vacation, you're still tired. You know, we still had all our home responsibilities. We still had all our animals in our home, and you know, I even still had to do a little bit of my work during that time with shooting cabins and whatnot. And so that 6 days just like knocked me out. I was so tired from just going, and it was amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And then after that, my work schedule, shooting the cabins that I shoot for a couple of the local rental companies here, just like ramped up. Of course, I missed them a little bit while I was kind of off having fun, but it just got so busy. And you know, Brooks handles all of the stuff I don't like to handle, so to speak. He handles the booking and the billing and all of the phone calls and all of that stuff. He does all of the stuff I don't want to do. So I kind of focus on just shooting the cabins and getting them edited. But there are days that I have been doing and shooting 3 cabins a day and editing 3 cabins a day, which is 12 to 14 hour work days. And then there are cabins that have overnight stays where I get to stay overnight and shoot sunrises and sunsets, and they've been wanting a lot of those lately because we're heading into fall, and weirdly enough, the company doesn't really want fall pictures. They want it to be green. So I've just been hitting it really, really hard. So I just haven't had time for y'all, and I'm so sorry, but I'm hoping to make it up to you and get out some more videos. Tell me what you want me to make. Tell me what you'd like to see, because I I would like to know your opinions. And but today it's all about the comfort food. Split pea soup is something my own mom made, something my mother-in-law made, and we just love it. And I hope that you'll make it too. But everybody here is fine. You probably might hear the chickens behind me over there. Dolly's over there being Dolly. She's very chatty. Or she was appropriately named. She is the queen of the coop. But she's over there chit-chatting quite loudly. Cash, our rooster, has started crowing. Yep, he started crowing. But you know, he's not an annoying crower. He crows like every other day. He'll crow around 7 a.m. like 6 or 7 times, and then he's done. He doesn't crow all day long. It's just, and I found out that's pretty normal for his breed, that they're not really, really loud. That they just kind of crow a little bit. So, but he's getting huge. I will try to post a picture of him because he's a full head, and his width, his girth of his body is so much bigger than his counterpart. Goodness, oh, that's her name. See, Cash used to be a girl, or we thought he was a girl, and his name was Shirley. But Shirley, we can't call him Shirley, so Mr. Cash. So now we just call them Mr. and Mrs. Cash because they're kind of inseparable, and they don't they are together all the time. And then the other two, Mercy and Shafalo, the little partridge Cochins, are BFFs, and they don't separate either. So they were like little pairs, and they just kind of have stayed little pairs in the flock. But yesterday I had something really crazy happen. So our main vehicle, the air conditioning went out, and then the battery died. So John, our family member, said that he would help us take care of that. And so he's been working on the car, and he actually detailed it for us. We really appreciate all the work he's done on the car. But yesterday I had our other car up at a compound. It was kind of a 16-acre estate, gorgeous place with like a lake and paddle boats, and it's called the Manor at the estate at Smoky Mountains. Really amazing private piece of property with the grounds were just fabulous. So anyway, car drove fine going there. Car drove fine about halfway out of the resort that the estate was located in, and halfway down the mountain I'm noticing my foot going all the way down to the ground. Yeah, it wasn't stopping. My brakes went out, y'all. Not even funny. So here I am in an area with not a very good phone signal, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? So I drove it foot to the floor with the brakes and ended up at a little convenience store and I called Brooks. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I called John actually too, and it turns out that John was at the auto repair shop with our other car. So I was like, oh wow, okay. And everyone, they both told me that I should tow the car, and that probably would have been the smarter and wiser thing to do. But I decided to play with the car in the parking lot that I was in, and I just started pumping the brakes, and that helped it stop a little bit better. And so I realized that there is actually a back road that was right near me that would take me to, basically it would let me out onto a main road that was right by the auto repair shop. So I decided, since it's a back road and there's not a million of cars and the speed limit is actually pretty slow because it's a curvy road, that I was going to drive the car from where I was. It's probably 6 miles to the auto repair shop. Well, let me tell you, that was some white knuckle driving. I had a few impatient people behind me because, you know, I had my hazard lights on, you know, which is an indication something's wrong. Of course, some people are impatient and will pass you on a double line and honk at you, and it's like, I'm driving 22 miles an hour in a 30 5-mile-an-hour road. Some places it's 25-mile-an-hour road. You're gonna just have to be patient, people. So here's a little PSA. If you have somebody on with their blinkers and it's a 2-lane road, stay behind them a good distance, because if they're like me, they might be having brake problems, and that could be a problem. So I found myself kind of pulling over a couple of times to let people pass, but I made it there safely, and the other car is being worked on as we speak, so hopefully that won't be a major expense. But yeah, it's been a little bit crazy here on the Ramsey Ranch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Our birthday is coming up on September 25th. We have a picnic for our Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun community coming up on the 20th, and we have people coming in from California and Canada and all over, really. We're like crazy shocked at how many people decided that we are someone they would like to meet and hang out with. So maybe next year we can have the Ramsey Ranch be in on it. We scheduled it before I actually took off with this channel very well. So, but anyway, that's coming up on the 20th, and so we're excited about that. So we just got a lot going on right now. But I have chit-chatted and chewed your ears off long enough. Let's get back, because I think that soup is ready. Our soup is done, and I'm just going to press this button and it's going to release the steam from the Deluxe multi-cooker. We don't have to touch that hot valve or anything. So let's open it up and see what we've got here. I love that I can just nest my lid right here in the unit itself and it just stands there. But look at that, it's bubbling and yummy. And we've got to take out that ham bone. I'm probably going to have Brooks take the meat off of that, and we'll add that back into the soup when we're ready to eat our dinner. But for now, I'm going to bowl up our soup. Oh, first we got to take out that bay leaf. We got to take out those bay leaves. You do not want to eat those because that would not be good. We just want that for the flavor while it's cooking. Here's one of those beautiful Alewine soup mugs that I got that you can see the signature there on the bottom. Absolutely beautiful, and this is the first time we're using these, so I'm excited to eat out of them. There's just something special about eating a nice hearty bowl of soup out of a beautiful mug, and I'm just so glad that we bought these. So I'm going to serve up Brooks's here in his mug, and I actually chose 2 slightly different ones just because I love the variety. But here we are. Our soup is finished. Isn't that beautiful? That just screams all the things for fall. Our soup is done and it smells so good in here, y'all. I've been craving a hearty soup. It is already in the 50s in the morning here in the Smokies, so it is officially soup season, or I've seen some YouTubers call it Soup-tember, which I am totally good with. But look at these gorgeous mugs from Alewine Pottery here in the Smokies. They are beautiful. I talked to you a little bit about that with our little chit chat outside. If you want to go see Alewine, Mr. Robert Alewine, who is actually a neighbor of ours, you can visit his store and his website, which I will post below. But it's time for the taste test. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me some soup. It smells so good. It is so perfect. And I've got some of my sister's sourdough bread here to go with it. We're just probably gonna dip and sop as we do here in the South and probably other places as well. But I am excited that it's soup season because we eat lots of soups and we use our Deluxe multi-cooker a lot. Especially in those cold months where we make a lot of soup. So you'll probably see a lot of soups coming up on the Ramsey Ranch as the weather gets cooler. But as you know, most of the items that I use in the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen are Pampered chef items. They have just released all of their fall goodies. All the fall products are out. The ones that I got to see and test when we were at conference up in Chicago a little while ago. That was in July already. I don't even know where time is going. But anyway, I am so excited about some of the products that I'm using. I showed you the little anniversary spatula that they have brought out. It is super cute and like kind of vintage modern. I really like it. But I will be using more and more of the items on the channel so that you can see how they work. I am currently running a mystery host party that you can purchase. Any purchase counts, and you can win all of the host benefits. It's actually going to run until mine and Brooks's birthday, which is September 25th. So if you are interested in purchasing anything at all from Pampered Chef, you will be entered to win all of the hostess benefits, whatever they end up being. So right now we are already at a qualified party, so whoever wins is definitely going to be getting at least a 50% off item, a 60% off item, as well as a credit to purchase free items. So if you want to join that party, I will put the link down in the description. It will close out by the 25th of September, and we will post our winner on our Facebook page, the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen. But this is a great way to possibly win host benefits without actually hosting a party. And the party is online, super simple. It's swipe and watch videos and play games, and you can read about the products. They have made it so easy to party with Pampered Chef online. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there in case anybody wants anything and they want a chance to win host benefits. That is the best way to do it if you cannot actually host a party. So anyway, I am going to go feed the hungry mob, which is actually the guys who are here for wrestling tonight. And Connor, our son, is here with us as well. And I hope to get a video out to you next week, but I cannot promise. Our September is so jam-packed, but I'm gonna super duper try to at least get something simple out for you. But in the meantime, get you in the kitchen, make you up something good, make you some split pea and ham soup. And until then, I will see you. God bless you and have a wonderful week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.